Oh, waipis Sqilxw. Welcome everybody to Sqilxw Podcast. This is our second video, and we have an awesome guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Kiwa, why Sqilxw Aliyah Osoyoos. I am a youth on the Osoyoos Indian Band. So hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Aliyah Baptiste. And I'm really excited to be here today. And I'd like to give a big thanks to the Sqilxw crew, Jesse Martin, Trenton Gabriel, and Levi Bent. Thank you guys so much for having me here. And I'm really excited for today.
Lim, we're glad to have you today.
It's an honor and a privilege. And so I don't know if you watched the first one we did, but the question that we were laying on the table was, what does it mean to be Sqilxw?
Ooh, that's a really, really good question. So for me, being Sqilxw means to be proud of who I am, have pride in my culture. When I was little, I went to the reserve school, Sinpakchin, and throughout my years learning at the Sinpakchin school, I was taught my language and my culture. Uh, being that I wasn't, I guess, like really grew up with my other side of my family, being here on the Sqilxw territory, learning my roots,
Oh,
being traditional, I guess, in a way.
what's your other side?
My other side is Teltan from Telegraph Creek. Wasn't really,
Tan. How far is that from here?
I would say about probably about 400 miles away from
Ooh, pretty far.
pretty
North,
far
right?
away. Yeah, north. Yes.
Oh,
Um,
our pizza's here. Hey, just kidding. Has kuchkich. We're doing an interview podcast.
It's just milk in the wheat.
Milk in the West. Oh,
The milk. You're
milk,
visiting-
milk, key.
The milk in the wheat. You're visiting around.
Oh, ne, why? Takwaks in the Khiam.
Where's Sherry's not around?
Lutzalach. Lutachmi stink akin.
Kiwa.
Let's get right back to Tiltan.
Let's do it.
Have you ever visited up there? Have you spent some time up there?
No, unfortunately. Well, most of my family, they actually moved away from Telegraph Creek because of how, I guess, isolated it is from civilization. So mainly my family resides in Fort St. John, British Columbia now. I don't go to Telegraph at all. I haven't been, which is really unfortunate. So I guess staying here, learning the roots of the Sqilxw way is a way to pick up my native roots.
Oh, now?
Wow.
A sa
Uh,
roots. And you have roots up there, you have roots here. And I think indigenous culture is very similar no matter where you go on the land, because like here it's about Sqilxw. Maybe it does, Sqilxw don't grow up there,
Mhm.
but there's another plant or something that, people harvest and they use, and it's very important to them. So the same values you're going to find here, if you do end up going back to Toltan country, it'll be interesting. I don't know. Do you have plans to go up there and checking it out?
I really hope so. Definitely once in my lifetime for sure.
That's awesome. So, who is your teacher at Sinpakchin?
For I think my kindergarten year to grade, I want to say grade 3, that was David Tanner.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was my English or language teacher back then, and then he moved to Tuckalnuit. So then after that, it was Henry Michael. I think that's his name.
Michelle.
Yes, yes.
But it's spelled Michael, though, right?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Michelle.
Yeah. So
What are some of his teaching styles that do you have any memories, fond memories of his class? How would he come in? What was his kind of his energy? And maybe some of the listeners could because I'm a language teacher too, and I'm always trying to figure out the best way to teach it.
Absolutely.
Was there anything that you remember that was like, oh, I like this about his style?
I remember going out on the land every once in a while. He would always host like these outdoor classrooms. We would go out to the land near the sweat lodges. And we would basically just he'd teach us how to like make our own fire, if we were like to do like shelter
Yeah.
work. And that was really, really fun and very interactive when I did that. It was
Sweet.
yeah.
Actually, my first year working at Sqilxw, we still did that with the students.
Yeah.
Brought them out to Roger Hall's property
Yeah.
there, and yeah, we did the same thing. Made fires, built shelters, and it's great.
It
Like
is.
everyone, you have one of the things I really love about that is you have a lot of the youth and the kids that aren't really even used to being outside. A lot of them, and you bring them there, and some don't really even know what to do when they're out there at first. You know, it's kind of it's foreign to them because they're
100%.
they're on their video games, they're on their screens all the
Yeah.
time. But then you get to
So
see.
were you? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I was actually my mom.
I'm just kidding.
My mom was strict on that when I was young. I had limited screen time, but you get to see them come out of their shell, and it's through our culture, and you just
Absolutely.
it's just one of the ways I see like you get to see how empowering our culture can be
Yeah,
for youth
sure.
and for anyone.
Definitely.
Gollies, we should do that more often then, because we still work at Sqilxw, and we're always trying to figure out, things that the kids really remember, because that's eventually, like what they're going to remember. It impacts them in a way,
Mhm.
and things that we should implement more of.
Yeah,
Because
for
in
sure.
class, I don't know about you guys, you can learn some stuff, but it doesn't really stick. It doesn't really, resonate so much as when you're out physically hands on doing things, and like there's being language being spoken, and sometimes those words really stick more.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And when we did that, I remember all the kids really enjoyed it. They said that whenever I'm outdoors, I actually enjoy being like in school. When you're in a classroom, you get very angsty, very wanting to go like leave out the classroom. So being outdoors was definitely one of the best top ways of how I learned my culture and going back, like learning back in my traditional ways of living. Um, yeah, that's
So
definitely a big part.
would you say those early on hands-on learning inspired you to now get to keep doing your culture and learning your language and stuff? Like, were those early years instrumental in?
Absolutely. And this is a little bit like unfortunate, but when I went to high school, I actually kind of lost all that knowledge and all those traditional ways. So it wasn't until my grade 10 year when I wanted to be proactive about that. And I actually got a job at the Nk'Mip Desert Cultural Center. Now I'm relearning my roots, relearning my traditional ways of living. It's definitely a process, but I'm getting there. It's very fun process.
I love the cultural center. It's so beautiful. It's so just you walk in there and you feel that pride of, being Okanagan and being Sqilxw and being
Absolutely.
represented in a right way, in a good way, and everything like that. Every time I go there, I just leave with a big smile on my
Yeah.
face. So, hey, lucky to work there. Is there any job openings? Maybe I can hire you. I'm just kidding.
I wish, yeah.
Um, who would you say, just kind of piggybacking off that part, who would you say a person kind of influenced you the most in wanting to learn our culture altogether?
Besides me. Just kidding.
My grandfather Ted Baptiste, he was a residential school survivor,
Mm.
and he's like doesn't he told me that he lost all the knowledge and all of the traditional ways of how he lived. So when I heard that, I basically like I just wanted to have that ambition to learn my culture, break that cycle of, not a lot of youth today don't want to learn their culture and their language. And I just thought I had to be proactive in that way and to actually do it myself.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if the youth maybe is it they don't want to, or they just don't see themselves in that way, and maybe we need to give them like paths and give them, help them, guide them to learn, because like we were talking about last time, what it means to be Sqilxw. There's so many things we can do in life,
Mhm.
and if they don't think the Sqilxw stuff's cool, they're not going to want to do it, right? But
That's
then to me, it's like that's the coolest thing there
It
is.
is,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I guess it's just like creating more stuff like this where people actually share. There's not
Mhm.
that many resources especially Okanagan stuff. So if we express our love for it, then other maybe youth will see like, hey, this is actually really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I totally agree. I feel like with the youth, when it comes to youth learning about the culture and like the language, they don't know like the first step to take because of like what you said. There's not a lot of resources when it comes to Okanagan culture. And I feel like doing more of this, like this kind of activity, would definitely let youth know that they're not alone, I guess.
Definitely.
Totally.
Do you have any questions on your paper, Slack?
One of the ones. Where is your favorite place to go in the whole wide res?
Ooh,
Whole wide res?
the whole wide res. Oh, I don't really have a specific spot. Um, if I were to choose one spot on reserve, I would say Gallagher Lake, near the
Mm.
water, near in Eileen, the McIntyre Bluff. I just find myself really calm, peaceful near the water, on the traditional lands, and yeah, I think
And it's so clean there, and it's
it is.
cool and refreshing. That's my
Yeah,
favorite lake to go
it
to.
is. Yeah, my favorite lake too.
There's my favorite place on the the whole wide res would probably be some of these back roads up on the flats
Oh yeah.
and the viewpoints up there.
Hmm.
It's just nice escape,
Yeah.
it's so free. I guess you just feel free when you're up there and you can just cruise the land and you're like, this is our territory.
Yeah.
And we're so fortunate to have that, I feel. And yeah, if I just feel really nice and relaxed and calm whenever I go out onto the land.
That's a very good point.
Hmm
Very, very good point.
I want to go on those back roads like horseback.
Yeah.
That'd be
Mm,
sweet.
Yeah.
no doubt.
Get
No doubt.
ask some folks who have horses if we could do like a cultural, like a horse ride trek through our territory,
Mhm.
because like even that would get people out and getting familiar with the land, Temahulauch, and doing things. And I know every little place has a place name too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the place name for Gallagher Lake? I don't really know it. Do you guys know?
I was told it, but I completely forgot the.
If I were to change it, I would call it Sqilxw Itk. It's shaped like a heart. Did you ever notice that?
I haven't. No.
Next time you go there, because the cliffside,
Yeah.
it comes to a point, and then the other side it goes towards the highway that way. Like it's just shaped like a heart. And I
Okay.
think that's where that chaptik comes from, with those two grasshoppers that were related, but they look different. And then
Right.
they killed a mountain sheep there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that chaptik?
I have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It is a cool one.
Ooh la la. Well, here, look, I got this question here I want to ask you. What does a morning routine look like for you?
A morning routine look
Yeah.
like for me? Well, the weekends are I tend to just chill, maybe sleep in a little bit if I can. But as of weekdays, I I do wake up early. I get ready for work. I used to do smudging every like morning. I don't know why I stopped doing that. I just
Mm.
haven't really been able to go out and pick sage or anything.
Well, we're humans. We get complacent sometimes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I know if I forget to do those things, it falls off the.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember I have free will and I just go out and do it because.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Do you? I just got into meditation like recently. I didn't meditate today, but I've been, for like the last 2 or 3 days, I've been meditating. Have you
Yeah,
ever tried that?
I have.
That's
It's
pretty
very
nice.
peaceful.
It is. Yeah. Seems to kind of like throughout the day settles me out and
Yeah,
chills me out.
100%.
I'm always trying to promote that, that
Yeah,
healthy.
definitely.
Yeah.
For
Start
sure.
meditating. Nice.
I have another question. Out of the four food chiefs, Sqilxw, Sqilxw, Intitich, or Sia, which one do you identify with the most?
That is a really good question.
Maybe our friend Islach can help you with kind of what each one means.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
just pushing me under the bus there. Well, like the Nk'Mip says that the Sqilxw represents tradition, and it's kind of like we've done things this way forever. And the polar opposite is Sia, and she is innovator, new ideas. In TTIC is like it's kind of like a masculine energy where you just want to get things done.
Right.
And then in TT is the feminine energy where there's nurturing. And you got to make sure and check on how everyone feels before anything happens. So, because sometimes in TT, we'll just want to get it done and
Right.
not can worry about how everybody thinks or feels. And well, then in TT and Sqilxw is maybe like slow to get things going because always just checking on,
Mhm.
so everyone kind of a little bit of every one of them, but
Right.
usually we kind of portray more of one
Mhm.
in our individuality.
Right. I feel like I fall under the intichtig category.
Mhm.
I tend to make sure people are okay. I like to know what my family is up to. I like it's like not even a want, it's like a need that I need
Is
to
that
like
Sqilxw?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm big time too. I know. Have you ever done choices? They do like the colors too. So that would be a blue.
Mm,
Where yeah, really about into the feelings, and checking on people, make sure everyone's okay and everything
right.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm orange blue,
Yep.
and orange is kind of like just like a crazy guy, and
Right.
but then is always checking on, make sure no one gets offended, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Gold is like my least. That's being very organized, and
Mhm.
everything is just so. It's like that's my least. That would probably be yeah. Would that be Sqilxw? I don't know. I don't think they actually equal exactly like colors and stuff like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what are you most passionate about in life?
My most passionate thing about in life, well, first of all, relearning my culture. That's definitely one of my most passionate things in life. Um, I'm also expanding my education in Indigenous studies. I'm going to be going back to school in the fall, getting my bachelor's of arts. That's one thing I'm really passionate about. Once I finish university, one of my biggest goals is to stay in the community, work with the community, help, I guess, make it better and a better
Hmm.
place for especially our youth today, too. Yeah.
Definitely. Is you're still a youth, and you really kind of know what they need, and at
Mhm.
this time you could probably help them get what they need, and
Absolutely.
what do you call that? Those bridges, gap those
Hmm.
bridges and stuff
Right.
like that.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. That's really really inspiring.
Thank you.
Aliyah.
Limlimt.
So you said the culture and everything's kind of your most precious to you. So what does learning the language mean to you? Like,
Learning
do
the
you do you plan on furthering your education into that as well?
I was, like, expanding my education in Sqilxw. I was in the Sqilxw program through NVIT at the Inalkin Center.
Uh,
I did have to resign, though, because of, family problems and stuff like that.
Oh no.
But if I were to get the chance to, relearn my language again, I totally would. It's just at that time, it wasn't I guess I wasn't ready at that time. Not saying that you're never ready to learn your language. You're always ready, right? But if I were to expand my knowledge in language, I definitely would take that chance, opportunity for sure, for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's anything we could do to try to help too with we're trying to get maybe some evening classes going. I know I teach kids at Simpakchin now, but I miss teaching adults,
Yeah,
because they sign up, they want to be there.
they do. Yeah.
Kids, they're like, I'm putting up with this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool having evening sessions of the language, your other
Yeah.
language house. It'd be really, really neat.
Yeah, I'm down. I
Hmm.
miss that. I miss that higher level.
Yeah.
And I guess I want to switch it up here. It says here this is could be you can answer it if you want or you don't want, but
Mhm.
maybe a biggest failure. And what did you learn? Or let's like how did you overcome? Like, because sometimes not everything goes good in life. It's
Right.
like, but then. Those are the big lessons too. So I don't know if you wanted to, if you had anything in mind where you thought like, oh, that was a failure, but then I learned something of it. If you want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I
cool.
will like to answer that. I did like I would call this a little bit of a failure. Not really because it wasn't like out of my control. I just mentioned it. Resigning out of the language
Mhm.
program. That was very unfortunate. I really did want to stay. I really wanted to do the full course, finish it, but due to circumstances, I just couldn't, and it was definitely a huge flop at that time. If I could change it, I definitely would wish to stay longer,
Mhm.
maybe give it the benefit of the doubt and just ride it through, but
Yeah.
Especially when you're younger, though, you go through those things. Not everything works out the way you expect it to go, right? Like
yeah,
we're saying, and
yeah,
as long as you, what do they say, adapt, improvise, and overcome.
that's very true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just move forward. There's a lot of things when I went to school back when I was younger, and didn't end up finishing.
mhm,
But you just kind of stick with it. You go back, you loop back when you're ready, because you're not always going to be ready for these things.
exactly.
Actually, speaking of that, in September, I'm starting my language courses up again.
Oh, awesome.
So
Yeah,
gonna further my education with that, and hopefully get like my Sqilxw here one day,
yeah,
get
yeah.
fluent.
You both are so inspirational. It's
Thank you,
awesome. Keep
Lemlin.
up the good work. I was wondering, so like, you seem like you plan, you have an idea of what you want. Where do you see, yourself in like 5 years? And where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself being a teacher? Do you see yourself still at the cultural center, pursuing more education? Or what about even like where do you see yourself in terms of being involved with the community and stuff like that? Maybe.
Very good question. Depending on the budget, during that time, I do want to further and pursue more education,
Mhm.
specifically in social work or law, which would be very, very cool, especially in this community. There's not a lot of like lawyers on our territory. I think that'd be
Mhm.
very, very cool being the first Sqilxw lawyer on my community. That would
Yeah. Hey,
be
was it
super cool.
Terry too? Huh?
Terry Bell just finished her law degree, actually.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So someone that could help you tell you, show you the ropes, maybe.
Yeah, and I am familiar with her too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's great.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
She's
Yeah, and especially. Oh, sorry, Slack. Go
Oh, I
ahead.
was just gonna say she's really come a long way, and just kind of shows how if we really just grind and push through it all and really strive for anything, she's a
Yeah.
perfect example of like what you can do,
Termination.
determination, and how you can really grow as a person and as a professional. Yeah.
I bet. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And then I really like how you're coming from you're learning indigenous. You're actually learning your language and your culture first.
Mhm.
Then you have that knowledge of who you are. And Sqilxw. Then you go into the law. Then you know who we are. You know what we need, and right rather than I'm not saying it's any order, but it's good to have that Sqilxw knowledge in your back pocket. Then move on to other things, and you'll always carry that with you. I think that's just gonna make you stronger, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
For sure. Yes. Oh,
that's awesome.
thank you.
I'm running out of questions, Slack. No.
um, if you can think of like one piece of advice that you've been given over the years, what was the best piece of advice you've ever received and that you'd like to share with us and the viewers, maybe?
My grandfather Ted, he gives me really wise advice. He I'm not word for word, but he once told me like if you do give up on your dreams or if you have that thought of giving up on your dreams, just don't think of it too much like you're a failure. You're not. You're doing as best as you can. You even though like you said earlier things don't work out the way we want to, it's not the end of the world. There's other opportunities to come for you. Just because one big dream of yours is, crushed or whatever the case may be, doesn't mean like your life is over. It's because I was a teenager. I was thinking the life was the end of the world once one little inconvenience happened to
Mhm.
me. And he told me, yeah, like, don't knock yourself down for it. Don't
Like
beat
learning how to
yourself up.
bounce back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. That's a good
Mhm.
advice.
Yeah,
Resilience.
you
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
I don't know your grandfather too well, but what I do know of him, I really like. I've always got along with him. I think he's an amazing guy,
Mhm.
and he's got that really calming
He
presence.
does, absolutely.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
he's seen. I applaud everything he's done as a grandfather. I
yeah,
think he's great.
he's the best.
Do you have to be from the res to have resilience? I'm just kidding.
Resilience.
Resilience.
I like that.
I like that one.
I'm always trying to come up with jokes.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on me now.
There you go. That's our motto.
Resilience. Cool.
So you're gonna be pow dancing up in Penticton this weekend?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Work is kind of getting in the way, but if there's
Mhm.
evening time, I definitely want to
Might
go out
zip
there.
up there. Zip
Yeah,
up there, check it out. Me
yeah,
too. I haven't danced in so long.
yeah.
At the gathering we had down there in Osoyoos, you were tearing it up on the dance floor.
Oh,
Good
thank you.
dancer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lim
You've been
Lim.
powwowing for many years or
Yeah, since I was 12, I
12?
was power dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish I got started at 12. I started like 28.
yeah,
What?
Late bloomer.
yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah. You thought I did it forever?
I thought you did it longer than that
No,
anyway.
no,
But I
no.
guess yeah, it kind of lines up with your cultural journey.
Yeah,
Definitely.
26, and it took me that long to get an outfit. A couple years
Yeah,
before.
I think I was about 5 or 6 when I was a grass dancer.
yeah. I
Grass danced for maybe 1 or 2 years, and I
really,
haven't since. And I always say to Levi, I really do want to get back into that. It's like one thing at a
definitely.
time, I guess.
It for sure
I'm
is.
doing a bit of powwow drumming. I just started that last year with
Oh,
the group, and that
cool.
was fun. And we're hopefully gonna start our own group here with Sqilxw powwow drum group.
Nice. Yeah,
But yeah, just learning all those things, they just add to the repertoire, your tool belt of cultural knowledge
it does.
and
Yeah.
empowerment. I always go back to because
Mhm.
when I first started learning any of these drum songs, like for example, that was the first time I felt like this spiritual energy, this power in me
Yeah.
where I'd never felt that before. It's like a natural high
Yeah.
and the feeling and singing our songs with our people, and it's just empowering.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And many of our songs have really beautiful meanings behind it, which that also I started singing at a very young age. I wanted to like learn the songs and the meanings behind it. And I tried to and I try my best and now
You can
working
come jam with us if
yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
We don't really have a set time and practice yet, but it's just mostly idea to
Mm,
get together and start doing it. But
that's yeah.
we'll get together one of these days.
Yeah. Awesome.
So did you do you know lots of hand drum songs too? Traditional songs? Folk songs?
I know a couple. I got know the basics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's like language and culture and drumming. I find it's all kind of one enchilada.
It
You're
is.
learning a little bit
Yeah,
um about it, whatever
definitely.
and then take and pick. And have you ever composed your own song?
No, I
Me
haven't. That would
neither.
be like one of my biggest goals is to make a note like my own song, original, and maybe even do like a round dance style, type
That'd be
style.
awesome.
It would be, yeah.
I've walked in the mountains before and then just started singing because looking at the mountains and the land and the sky.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But then I get back to the house and I'm like, I can't remember how that tune
That's
goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I was at Round Lake, actually, that's what I did. I was taking my daily walks by myself. Not supposed to walk by yourselves there, but I always did anyway. So I'm just down at the lake, and I brought my drum there, and I just kind of singing a few of the songs that I like singing that I felt near the water. And then I'm like, I should start trying to come up with my own song. And so while I was down there, I kind of came up with one. I'm like, oh, okay. We started singing it, wrote it down a bit, and then it kind of just ended up being a stick game song, I think, more
Right.
than anything. 'Cause it's pretty simple and it's like, it's like, hey ya ho, hey ya ho, ya hey hey yo ha, hey ya ho, hey ya ho, ya hey hey yo ha, hey ya ho, hey ya ho, ya hey hey yo ha, hey ya ho, hey ya ho, ya hey hey yo ha, ya hey hey yo ha. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that was just I call that one just a round lake song.
Yeah.
So it came to me when I was just on my walk there. And I don't know, I've never really sang it much, but
Awesome. Yeah.
Imlimt.
Yeah, for sure. And, I feel like when it comes to our songs, like singing them, especially if you kind of come up with your own little tune. It's like this like spiritual out of body experience. You're like yes.
So
Yeah.
just I guess to wrap it up, I'm gonna let you have, your last word is like, the importance of identity and being Sqilxw and indigenous, and the opportunity to share with the youth, how you feel about it,
Mhm.
about being Sqilxw. And because when I was a kid, it was kind of like a little bit of shame, a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I've learned that's like my favorite part of myself is my
Yes.
indigenous culture. So if
Definitely.
you could share a little bit of what, if you want to share.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Being a Sqilxw woman in this territory, it definitely comes with its challenges, but like other than that, I'm very proud to be who I am today. I'm a two-spirited Sqilxw person, which is definitely very, very cool in a way. um, yeah, other like with identity, it's just, like embrace your roots, don't be ashamed. It's who we are, and it's just it helps you be more resilient, know what to do with your life, and yeah.
For real. So
Yeah.
you always have that and of who you are, Sqilxw, and to me that's like a I don't know if it's a war cry, but it just when I speak in Sqilxw, I'm so strong.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm always in the English mind, I start to get kind of weak a little bit.
Mhm.
But that's just when I get my Sqilxw going, I'm like invincible.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I think. Well, Sqilxw's got one more.
I just maybe thought maybe we could all end off too by saying one thing we're grateful for today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm grateful for being here today. Thank you guys so much for having me. This was very, very big opportunity for me to
Mm.
express what it is to be Okanagan. So thank you guys so much.
Well, I'm grateful for you for showing up and to be our honored guest today. Lim Lim.
Absolutely, lim limbed.
Yeah, I'm grateful that we're all here together doing this,
Yeah.
and hopefully people can take something from our interview here and our visit here and learn.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
He used them, carry it with them, yeah.
Yeah.
Kast. Why Lim Lim tipis na Sqilxw.
Bye.
Catch you next time.
Keep it deadly.
Good job, you guys.
Thank you. Lim lim.
Wish jokes. Oh. And knockout punch down for the count.